I spend a lot of time on this channel talking about how today's AI tools can be used to improve your English. But where is this going? What will English learning be like in the next couple of years and beyond? It's important to think about that because if you just focus on individual tools, you may miss the forest for the trees. But if you have the big picture in mind, then you can decide where you want to go. You can make plans. You can identify trends early. So before we talk about this, I want to show you a very interesting scene from a Star Trek movie from, I think, 2009, which has a few elements of this, what I think is future of English learning.
What is the formula for the volume of a sphere?
4/3 pi times the radius cubed.
1.26.
Any limbs?
Charge of an uptime scalar
Positive
distance.
two-thirds.
Sensible summation. What is the square root
Or
of
in quadrant.
396,324?
1,548.
What is the dimensionality?
Dimensionality equals
What
the
are the
logarithm
two
of
key
n divided by
features?
non-excludability and
Volume of a
non-rival.
sphere.
4/3 pi times
When
the
is an
radius.
action
When it
sentence?
is morally praiseworthy but not morally obligatory.
So that scene is really interesting. There's some things there going on which I think hint at where we're going with English learning and AI tools. Now, it is a bit cold, just asking very dry, give me the answer sort of questions, very technical questions. I want to put that to the side. I don't think that's what it's going to be like. But I do think there are a few interesting things. First, each child is in their own little pod, right? And in each one, there's something totally different going on. Totally different. Well, why is that? Well, we are each totally different from each other. If you think about it, it's kind of not crazy because it's normal, but may be considered crazy that we sit in classrooms when we are children, learning exactly the same things as each other. Exactly. Even though our interests might be a bit different, and our skill sets might be different, and our natural talents might be different, our speed of learning for different things, right? Why are we all learning exactly the same thing in exactly the same way? So one thing that scene highlights is extreme uniqueness in each person's learning path. Everybody's doing a different thing in a different way. Maybe the goals are the same, right? I don't know, passing this evaluation or being good at speaking English, right? Maybe the goals are generally the same, but the way you get there might be totally different from one person to another. Totally different. So imagine here is the beginning point. I don't know English. Here is the end point. I'm fluent in English. Instead of having one path from here to there, imagine a billion little winding, twisting paths going from here to there. That is a unique learning path. And how is that possible? Well, it's possible because first, your AI assistant is constantly evaluating you. So evaluation is key. Where are you now? And what do you need to get to the next and the next and the next step? And that path may change. Maybe learning one thing this way and another thing that way. Well, this is already kind of possible using tools like ChatGPT. If you're good at using prompts and giving instructions, if you're creative with the tools, you can create custom lessons, conversations, evaluations. You can use a tool like ChatGPT to basically have a totally custom learning path which changes over time based on how you learn, based on maybe what's difficult for you, based on things that are easy for you, based on how your interests may change. So first we have this constant evaluation, which is possible now. And then we have this custom learning path, which is unique. Now, I will just mention here quickly, if you check in the link in the description, I created a free evaluation that you can use to test your English. It's pretty accurate. Now, it's only for speaking. It's only for speaking. It's totally free. So if you want, you can try that out. It takes about, 10, 15 minutes, something like that. You answer a few questions, and you get a breakdown and a score that is, again, unique to you. So check that out if you want to evaluate your current English speaking fluency. But then the next thing is to have that custom learning path that adjusts, adapts over time, constantly. So that's, I think, what's happening in those little pods in that scene in Star Trek. Now, and it's, again, learning how you learn. If you are more of a visual learner, or maybe you tend to need analogies or things like that, problems or challenges to solve, we all learn in slightly different ways. I think the other big focus, which is very important, is an emphasis on both input and output. Now, this is one thing that drives me absolutely crazy. For people who take my courses, some people think that they're going to just watch a course and it's going to just make them better. This is crazy. This is crazy. For some reason, I think some people have this idea that English learning is different than learning other skills. Everybody knows that when you learn a skill, you need to practice and do stuff, right? I've seen comments from people saying stuff like, hey, listen, I watched the course once. I watched it straight through. Will I improve faster if I watch it again? Will I improve more each time I watch it? Which is totally missing the point. It's totally missing the point. Yes, it's important to watch it, right? Content that's carefully created and built. But the other part of it is to do something with what you learned. It's not about watching it again and again and it's magically making you better, right? Reading the same book 10,000 times, I don't know, doesn't make you a better writer. So if you want to get better and use content, a course, whatever, you have to have output. Input, output. And we know this. Any skill that you want to get better at, you have to do stuff with it. So if you're watching videos or watching a course, or maybe taking something like my 90-day program, which comes with assignments and exercises to practice, that part of it is just as important as the other part, the input part. And in that scene, you see that, right? There is this constant focus on, say something now. What's the answer? Give me this. You do it. You solve it. You think through the problem. That's really important. That's really, really important. But it's also that it's kind of immersive. I think that's a key part as well. Immersion is about being surrounded by the language, being surrounded by what you're trying to learn, not just dipping your toes in and learning 3 things and then saying, okay, I'm done for the day, but really surrounding yourself. Literally being surrounded by a fishbowl of information. That's a little overwhelming, maybe not that much, but the idea of having immersion is kind of surrounding yourself with it, right? So all of this is very important, and all of this is right now possible if you're good at using the tools, but will continue to get better and better so that you just have an AI who knows your goals, knows your abilities, continues to adapt, and helps you get to the next level. And this is not just true for English learning, but for everything. And it's coming up pretty soon, I think. We'll see. So, immersion, very important. And I think there's also this aspect of it being real time. Now, it's important to do some things with a lot of careful thought and planning, right? So if you're writing an essay, you want to make an outline, you want to structure it. But getting good at having real-time, in-the-moment skills, especially when it comes to speaking skills, is very important. So a conversation is real-time. If you just learn grammar, right, thinking about grammar and then making some examples, that's not real-time. You want to apply it live in a conversation so that it's accessible when you need it, exactly when you need it. This is also possible right now. You can have a conversation with, let's say, ChatGPT. You can have a live conversation, and if you prompt it correctly, you can make sure that the things, the grammar or whatever you've been learning are part of that conversation, that you're using that stuff in real time. You know, your little Spock in your little pod, using your knowledge, solving problems in real time, surrounding yourself with the language, immersing yourself in it. It's learning based on how you learn and how you respond, constantly adjusting. That's a little more challenging to do right now. It's kind of manual, but it will continue to get better in the future. And the evaluation piece is really important so that it kind of knows where to go next, right? What's working, what's not. Again, possible in a limited way, but still possible. And there is that free evaluation to check out if you are interested. And it is free. Okay. So I think this is kind of where it's going. That scene is always kind of stuck in my head as this thing, this way of learning that would be so much better than what we have right now, especially without AI, where we just kind of read a book or we just kind of sit in a classroom and expect to learn at the same pace as everybody else. I don't think that's the best way to learn. And it makes me really excited about the future. The future that's possible right now in limited ways, where it takes some work, right, using prompts and different tools, but will absolutely happen in the very near, relatively near future, I believe. But let me know what you think. Does this future excite you? Does it feel scary? I think if it's actually like the little pod in Star Trek, it would be scary because it's pretty intense. I don't think it's going to be that intense. But let me know what you think about this potential future. If you haven't done so already, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Try out that free speaking evaluation in the links in the description. And also check out the 90-day program. It uses AI to have both input and output. There are the lessons, over 50 hours of lessons, but also practice, constant output throughout the entire program. Doing assignments, having conversations with custom GPTs who know the content of the program to constantly practice and improve your English fluency skills. And you unlock the content as you go, so it forces accountability. So check out both of those if you like. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.